Get ready, Staten Island. It's time to celebrate 5 years of Ferry Hawks baseball. Join us Friday, April 24th through Sunday, April 26th for our first homestand of the season and our 5th anniversary celebration. Score big with $5 tickets. Grab $5 domestic draft beers. Enjoy $5 popcorn. And yes, 2 Nathan's hot dogs for just $5. Visit ferryhawks.com now to lock in your seats.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
And tonight, everybody is talking about the ceasefire extension by President Trump. The deadline was fast approaching. It was only hours away. And President Trump came forth and put out a message saying that the ceasefire will continue until negotiations. So let's see where this goes. He's also asking Iran to cancel reported executions. Apparently, Iran is beefing up its executions of protesters and planning mass executions again. And President Trump saying, I urge you not to do that. So what will President Trump do? What is going to happen next? Trump also saying he will not be rushed into a deal with Iran, a deal that he feels is not the right move. And here he is just a little bit ago. This was earlier today. He was on CNBC and he said it's Americans that have the upper hand with this ruthless regime and that we cannot take a half deal. It has to be with, of course, the promise of no nuclear weapons. President Trump says he is not budging and that he will do all or nothing. And if they won't come to it, well, guess what? The bombs will start flying. Here he is.
Well, as I said 2 days ago when they said they won't send them, I said they'll be sending them. They have no choice but to send them. What I think is that we're going to end up with a great deal. I think they have no choice. We've taken out their Navy. We've taken out their Air Force. We've taken out their leaders, frankly, which does complicate things in one way, but these leaders are much more rational. It is regime change, no matter what you want to call it, which is not something I said I was going to do, but I've done it, indirectly maybe, but I've done it. And I think we're in a very strong negotiating position to do what other presidents should have done during a 47-year period. We have 47 years where these bloodthirsty people have been killing a lot of soldiers, a lot of our soldiers, and a lot of other people. They've killed 42,000 people over the last 2 months. And, you get to a point where people don't want to mention that. They don't like mentioning that. 42,000 unarmed protesters, innocent unarmed protesters, many of them hung. So we're not dealing with the nicest group of people, but we're dealing with them very successfully, and the blockade has been a tremendous success. They said 2 days ago, we will open the strait. I said, no, we're not going to open the strait until we have a final deal. No, we want to open the strait. They said, we're not opening. We totally control the strait, just so you understand, for all the fake news out there.
So is this the right move to give Iran more time? Trump says he will not be rushed into a deal. And I applaud him on that. I also applaud that if he thinks there's a chance that maybe this could get resolved, that's a good thing. He is the peace president. No matter what the crazy Democrats are saying, he is the guy who keeps trying to find peace as the solution and give Iran yet one more chance. On the other hand, you don't want to give them too many chances. You don't want them to reconstitute. You don't want weaponry. You know they're going to be keeping an eye on everything that comes in and out of the country. But there's a lot of questions as to what's going on within the country, too, as you heard from the leadership. I mean, you're hearing that the IRGC is fighting with the civilians, that they're executing the civilian leadership, and also more planned just overall mass executions. And President Trump saying there, as you heard, 42,000 Iranian citizens have been executed. That is horrific. This regime is a bunch of monsters. And anybody who is wishing that Trump doesn't do well in this is un-American, really is un-American. It's reprehensible. How could you not wish that this mission is an enormous success, not just for this generation, but future generations, That's why I say bravo, President Trump. You had the cojones to go after Iran, which every other American president in my lifetime talked about doing, but didn't do anything. And if anything, they facilitated Iran. So earlier today, we talked with Ari Fleischer on Katz and Cosby, former White House press secretary. Here is what Ari had to say about what the president will have to face at some point very soon. And we spoke with him right after news came down that he was extending this ceasefire. Take a listen.
Well, I'm kind of hoping that the president is just playing with his food. We all know how this is going to end. Iran is going to lie. They're going to try to stretch out these negotiations for as long as they can. And they have no intention of complying, and they're hoping eventually that we get tired and they get back to their business to develop a nuclear weapon. So, the president is extending these deadlines, but I think ultimately, one way or another, he's going to have to make the decision to get this over with. And if the Iranians won't comply, we're going to have to use force again.
Yeah, if they won't comply, we will have to use force. And I was expecting that if President Trump got some negative messages, or if they went there for talks like J.D. Vance and the others and nothing developed, that maybe it will really be a pounding. And you could bet that the next go round, it will be substantial. President Trump promising that if it does get to attacks yet again against Iran, what they saw so far is nothing compared to what's coming. Iran, in the meantime, also saying that they have some cards that they have yet to reveal. So what does that mean? Is that just hogwash bluster? It very well may be. Or is somebody else helping them behind the scenes like Russia and China, which we know for sure are trying to help them?